Hello Chronoholics, I am Dr. Karan Madan. Did you know that there is a silent revolution happening at Seiko? Allow me to elaborate. King Seiko was born out of the need to create an upscale watch with better features than the utilitarian and practical watches that Seiko made in the 1950s and 60s. Initial King Seiko models featured high-beat hand-wound calibers, better cases with polished finish, and clean legible dials which made the watches more attuned to competing with the Swiss and German styles of those decades. These were faithfully reissued in 2021 with the SJE113. Beautifully crafted dials with applied markers, a modern 4 Hz movement, and King Seiko branding on the crown and caseback, making for sublime dress watches any way one looks at it. One of the last King Seiko models to be produced was the 45KCM, and it was no surprise when Seiko reissued this design in a set of 4 beautiful watches in 2024. Today I have the KS1969 SJE113 Forest Green, so let's take a closer look. Signaling the premiumization of the King Seiko line, the packaging and box are definitely a step above your usual Seiko watches. The outer box, information material, and the inner smaller box all feature the King Seiko crown. The carry case pouch inside is made of top grain leather and feels plush. The focus of the video comes to light, the Seiko King Seiko KS1969 SJE113 Forest Green. The watch features a non-circular cushion-shaped case, evoking images of futuristic UFOs and brutalist design. In fact, that is where the similarities with the original 45KCM end, and what emerges is the modern, powerful statement piece that defines King Seiko as a worthy collection. The case measures 3 mm larger than its predecessor at 39.4 mm across, with 43.6 mm lug to lug, and only 9.9 mm thick, including the box-shaped raised sapphire crystal on top. The dial aperture is surrounded by the oblong case, which doesn't have any thick flat case sides, but in fact has a sharp edge from where the back of the mid case flows inwards. The thin bezel and case sides feature a mirror-like Zaratsu polish all over, a technique invented in Europe but perfected by the Japanese and a staple feature of Grand Seiko watches. With Seiko and King Seiko, we are sure to get some beautiful dials, and the deep forest green dial on this watch is as good as it gets. This is not a fume dial, but more a vignette effect, with brighter shades from the center, fading out to darker shades and eventually black on the edges. This allows the date window to merge unobtrusively with the dial. The finish on the dial resembles washi paper, a special type of Japanese paper made from rice, which is quite expensive and coveted all over the world. The applied hour markers are multifaceted, which reflect light at various angles and make the watch appear premium. The 12 o'clock marker is double flanged with a feathered pattern lasered onto the top side. We see the applied Seiko logo under the 12 o'clock marker and a printed original King Seiko logo and the word automatic above the 6 o'clock marker. The watch has no loom anywhere, as is expected from a dress watch. Time telling is accomplished by the baton-style simple chrome finished hands, which can be set via the push-pull crown on the 3 o'clock side. The crown is partially recessed within the case flange and is easy to manipulate. The crown features an engraved King Seiko crown, which can also be seen on the closed steel caseback when we turn the watch around. The caseback and crown afford this watch 50 meters of water resistance, which frankly is quite enough for daily use, considering that this is more a dress watch than a sports watch. The bracelet on the 45KCM inspired KS1969 models are inspired by the few period-accurate beads of rice bracelets. Then again, the premiumization and modernization that Seiko is aiming for with the new revamped King Seiko collection is fully evident with this fine link bracelet. The links are solid rather than folded, substantial instead of hollow, with the end links providing a seamless fit with the case. Despite such fine machining, the bracelet smoothly tapers from 19mm wide at the lugs to 17mm wide at the double deployant butterfly solid steel clasp. The bracelet links are shorter in height, so one can eventually find a comfortable fit. This is how the watch looks on my 7.25-inch wrist. The SJE Forest Green release was accompanied by the classic silver SJE109, the Edo Purple SJE111, and a Rising Dragon SJE115 limited edition of 700 pieces with an icy blue dragon scale pattern dial. While the Rising Dragon limited edition never came to India, the other versions along with the Forest Green are available to purchase at Rs 2,70,000. A lot of people ask me, Karan, why should we pay that much money for a Seiko? Well, while King Seiko was meant to be a premium line from Seiko back in the 60s, the modern revamped King Seiko collection is fixed squarely between the budget Seiko offerings and the upper-end Grand Seiko. This is accomplished by a few factors. Number 1. The use of clean designs with top-grade finishing like Diashield and Zaratsu, particularly on this watch. Second, the use of Seiko's high-end 6L35 caliber, a proprietary 4Hz movement with a 45-hour power reserve which has no corresponding equivalent in Seiko or even Grand Seiko. This unmatched automatic and ultra-slim movement is touted to have a variance of plus-minus 10 seconds per day, but real-life tests and user experience across the world has shown much better accuracy, which is equivalent and usually better than COSC. Third, unlike most of their budget lines, the fit and feel of the bracelet and case is a few levels above. In fact, almost equivalent to Grand Seiko. Then again, this would not be a complete Chronoholic review if I did not talk about the downsides of this watch. A smaller peeve of mine is that highly polished cases make for fingerprint magnets, and this watch is no exception. Also, we can all agree that while Seiko makes beautiful watches, the bracelets are usually a hit or a miss. This bracelet with its alternating brushed and polished links is quite special and yet leaves a lot to be desired. For starters, it'll give men with hairy wrists a free waxing, so maybe trying out different strap combinations is the way to go. Next, the odd 19mm lug width will seriously limit aftermarket strap options for those who love to switch out straps and try various combinations. Third, the lack of any kind of micro-adjust capabilities on the bracelet or the clasp, especially at such prices, is a bit of a bummer. Lastly, I just don't understand why Seiko still insists on using pin and collars for their premium watches in this day and age, especially when screwed links are the way to go. Obviously, none of these nitpicks are deal breakers. For a dress watch from a reputed brand, I would still consider a King Seiko KS1969 as my next choice. The Japanese watchmaking giant has always had one ear to the ground and listens closely to what their fans truly want. What they are also doing right is setting up a hierarchy within their brands, which coincides with their core philosophy of providing terrific watches across all price points. The Seiko King Seiko KS1969 SJE113 Forest Green is the embodiment of that process and one of the most beautiful watches in the King Seiko catalog till date. A big thanks to Seiko India for sending this watch across for review. Please subscribe to the channel so that we can bring you more informative content very soon. Thank you for watching.